Hello, everyone. We are live for a new episode from the series of lives we've been doing on the books by Naoki Higashida. The reason I jump and fall down 7 times, get up 8 times. Today we are going to talk about autism and learning a new skill. How easy is it for autistic people and autistic children to start or initiate that particular skill, to start it, to push it through to the mastery, and then is it easy to keep it mastered or to become maybe like perfectionist on it? Hi, Jen.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Debbie. Hi, Claire. Nice
Can
to
see
see
my head in here.
Oh.
That's it. I got an even bigger head now.
I know. The focus on these lives is a little intense.
Funny lives ones. Yes, indeed. So, how do you find the new book that we are doing?
I think it's great. He's older now, so he has a bit of a different perspective, a little more kind of a mature perspective on things, and he gets into, a little more challenging topics. So I think it's
And
really
also,
helpful.
And also more, hi Claire, hi Mandy. And also I found that more like in depth as well. Yes. And I haven't read all of it, but I didn't see any of the stories that he has in the first book. Did you find that he has stories in the second book as well? Do you remember his stories?
Yeah, I kind of read them in the beginning, and now I just skip over it to get to the meat of the of the chapters.
True. That makes sense. So I'm really excited. Have you seen Kareena or
I've been in touch with them, so they
yeah.
should be here in a minute. So Kareena and Bella or Bella, you're here. Belinda. Kareena and Belinda will be joining us today for our discussion. So maybe since this is recorded and people might be tuning in, why don't we start with introducing ourselves, and then when our guests get here, they can introduce themselves, and then we will go into the chapter.
Yay. Yep, we definitely do that. Would you like to start first?
Okay. Yeah, I'm Jen Slayton. I'm a psychotherapist and coach, and I specialize in autism. So I've been drawn to the profession, or drawn to autistic people since I was very young. And it wasn't until probably the middle of my adult life that I started to realize that my family was neurodiverse. So everything kind of made sense. And so anyway, I'm here to just offer support, and we have expert guests, people that are autistic, parents that have autistic kids, and some professionals, so that we can learn from everybody. So I will pass it to you, Bella. Oops, I lost your sound. Oh, great. Can you guys hear her in the audience?
Yeah, I muted myself. So
Okay. I'm like, oh no, not another technical thing.
yay! I'm Bella. I am a teacher, and for the last 3 years, I've been working with autistic children, delivering music sessions for them. So I converted my whole teaching experience into just teaching music for well-being for autistic children, aged between 18 months and 10 years old. And I really enjoy what I am doing. And like you, I've been learning a lot, even though I've done, quite a few trainings as a teacher in schools about autism and autistic children. I found that working with the families and learning from different autistic adults and autism advocates, I've learned so much. And I'm quite excited to be here tonight. Tonight here in the UK.
Yeah.
Oh, night everywhere. Yes, and I'm quite looking forward to hearing more insights, about learning a skill and yeah, how much more challenging is than for neurotypical people.
Absolutely. I did hear from Belinda. She'll be here any minute now. I don't know where Kareena is, but so I think I'll I don't know, do you think they already know the chapter. I don't know if I should read the chapter or just, I could talk a little bit about what I've seen with, especially with kids, autistic kids that I've worked with, that sometimes if there's a new skill or a sport or anything new, they, of course, I'm not talking about everybody, but it's not that uncommon that I've seen that they don't even want to try it because there's almost like this perfectionistic feeling that I have to do it perfectly or I don't want to even try. So it feels like there's a lot of anxiety behind it. So that was one aspect. And then also, if there's a mistake, sometimes a mistake can trigger a meltdown because it to them. I'm well. That's what we want our guests to tell us what it feels like. But so I've always suggested things like preparing ahead of time that mistakes are okay, playing games where you deliberately make mistakes, things like that. And I'm sure, Bella, you probably have a lot of musical games where you
Yeah,
teach kids things like that. Yeah. I saw Belinda's here. Is she able to join?
yeah, I sent her a request, so let's see.
Okay, okay.
She got picked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
Yes, I think what I found like challenging when I was in school as a teacher in classroom, teaching a national curriculum that was not adapted at all, even though I was trying to, adapt as much as I could. The expectation was that they should be able to access it one way or another, unfortunately. And what I found tricky was to actually, I was good, with getting them involved and making them wanting to try this, using my, humorous way of being and using songs, for transitions or for specific activities and so on. But what are you doing?
Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
good. My son, I had to set him up doing an hour of reading, which he's supposed to do for school. So everything, yeah. Thank you for your patience.
Oh, of course. Kareena came on and then she got kicked off.
Yeah, I saw her.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that for me as a teacher, the challenging thing, and I think even as a parent now, again, is not like starting, beginning. It's actually throughout learning that skill, how to sustain that motivation, how to sustain the stamina, how to sustain that attention that is required, and then how to just keep going so that the task or the skill is achieved, if not like mastered. I found this is like a very long process, and it required like lots of motivation along the way. And I think it has also a lot to do with executive functioning skills. And I also found that it was really sad to see that after they worked a long time in learning like a new skill, if it went a few days or a few weeks without practicing it, they nearly went to start it from zero, which, yeah, seemed like regress, but I'm not sure if it was regress or if just that's the way how the neurodiverse brain works until it masters it. I don't know, but those were the challenging bits, and I'm curious if the parents and other professionals, if they are in here, and other autistic adults, how do they see it, and how easy is it for them to maintain that skill up here without practicing that much.
Yeah, that's a really good point. That's so true. That's why sometimes over the summertime, kids in school, especially autistic children, kind of lose some of the things they've learned. Yeah.
The summer slide, is that what they call it? The summer slide, I think now is the term for it.
Oh, really?
But it applies to all kids where you don't want them to slide back and forget. So for my son, it's an hour of reading every day, and then I have him do math. That's required by the school. That's a letter we got from the principal, and an hour of reading minimum, but an hour is enough. Break it into half-hour chunks if you want, for 6th going into 7th, and then I add in math, of course, and then I have them in some summer school. They offer like summer school. I don't know what to call it. It's not summer school required, but just to keep those skills up. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. They would call it extended school year over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So is Kareena trying to log in, or what's happening over there?
I'm not sure. We'll probably need to start to.
Can we hear her? Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully she can join us. So
I'll send her a text to see
where she's at.
She can join. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll listen in. I think she's joining us.
I do think so. I see a little circle, spinning circle.
I'm listening in. I'm just I'll be right back. Check on my son real quick.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right. Are you coming, Kareena? Oh my gosh. It's like she's stuck in the other universe. Oh my gosh.
The portal.
Yes, it's so frustrating, all of our lives. There she's gone again. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, they both have the chapter ahead of time, so I will read it for everybody, and then we will discuss it, and hopefully Kareena can get on here with us. So this is the book that's by Naoki Higashida, and it's called Fall Down 7 Times, Get Up 8. And this chapter, he calls it Plodding Along Tortoise-like. And so he writes, he's like between 18 and 22 when he writes this one. It says, when I'm practicing something every day, but I'm still getting nowhere, I feel like I'm plodding along tortoise-like. Absolutely anyone can do this, so why can't I? My ongoing failure weighs heavily. It's taken for granted that in order to acquire the skills we don't have, we need to practice every day. This is why people who work with us pay us such close attention to the results of our practice. But for those of us actually doing the practicing, often the process doesn't feel like the natural, obvious way of doing things at all. We're always being told, it's fine to progress toward your goals a tiny bit at a time. But this is our therapists and helpers talking, not us. We, who are putting the practice in, want to master whatever we're doing as soon as possible. having us take these incremental steps might feel right and look correct for the neurotypical people around us. But those of us who are being obliged to work at a snail's pace might be sighing inwardly at our slow progress toward new goals. Anyone, neurotypical or not, can tell whether we're getting better at something or not, surely. My point, please don't think that by not pushing someone toward a goal or by not stretching their abilities, you're automatically making it easier for them to arrive. Life isn't that great for turtles, and plodding along tortoise-like is no picnic either. Yeah, so sounds like the extreme frustration that he has of taking things a little bit at a time and really wanting to, like I was saying earlier, just master it right away. Do you want to, hopefully Kareena can get on. I don't know what we can do for her. Belinda, oh, she keeps popping up. Hopefully she
I
can
know.
use it.
I think the problem is like in certain spaces, her Wi-Fi is because when we do a FaceTime, sometimes it's on and see it'll come off. She has to find the sweet spot for her Wi-Fi.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay.
It'll happen.
She'll just keep trying. So,
Yeah.
Belinda, first of all, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Because we haven't done that yet. And then we can talk about the chapter.
Yes. Okay. Hi, I'm Belinda, a former advocate, professional. I don't call it social worker because I don't have a license in social work. I have a degree in psychology, but I call professional advocate that I've done for over 10 years, mainly for children who were in foster care, taken from the parents because of abuse, abandonment, or neglect. I also worked at child protection team, which took care of those heavy duty cases with children hospitalized due to abuse, but also worked with parents who were imprisoned, parents who were the abusers and abused as children, worked with the elderly in long-term care, worked in law enforcement. That was actually quite interesting to do that. There she is. And
guys, I'm so sorry. I was trying so hard. The running that I did. Say hi to Justice, guys.
Hi, Justice. Nice to meet you.
You too.
So we're so glad you made it. We did go ahead and read the chapter, and Belinda is just introducing herself, and then we'll introduce you, and then we will go to our topic.
I was listening to the chapter. I was like having a panic attack while trying to also join and all that stuff. But guys, I'm so sorry, and thank you so much for having us, Jen. Yeah, and Bella.
Oh, okay. I'll finish real quick. So then I had my son, stopped working. And at age 10, he was diagnosed with ADHD. Age 8, diagnosed with ADHD. Age 10, diagnosed with autism. I later also got diagnosed because I saw a lot of myself in him. And I too have ADHD and autism, and we both have anxiety. And I may pop on and off, having emergency, I had written to Kareena and Jen, the medication. This could be a clubhouse topic, insurance and medication, and having to get authorization. So I've been on the phone with the doctor, the pharmacy, the insurance provider to authorize it because it's thousands of dollars. And I will tell you, we pay $600 a month for family health insurance, and it's amazing. But they need authorizations for this medication. Is called Enhancia ER. It's actually extended release Ritalin, and it's new. Eventually they'll be generic. Eventually everybody will be, able to get it. But for now, if you're lucky, you can get it. So if I get a call from one of them, excuse me, I may pop on or off, but I'm happy to be here. I met my friends here on Clubhouse. I met Bella here on one of our first chats. And basically, I like to help parents who are new to the journey or people who are new to the journey themselves in neurodivergency. I've created a couple of clubs on Clubhouse, started a new room, and just for a place for people to get together and say hello or say, hey, I'm newly diagnosed, what I do, or just unmask and be safe. So like replays are off. So which is the whole point of it. So yeah, that's me. Thank you.
Thank you, Belinda. And if anybody doesn't know, Clubhouse is an audio app, so you can have conversations on different topics. And so if you are interested in what Belinda was sharing, Belinda, Kareena, and I all do rooms on Clubhouse. You can contact us directly and we will hit you up, okay? So Kareena, tell us about you.
Hi guys. So yeah, sorry I was moving around a lot. I'm struggling to perform these days, but then I laughed because I was like, oh, I don't need to actually. And a really huge shout out to Belinda and her wonderful clubs that she made ages ago, but recently we're kind of reviving them. And I remembered what it is to be unmasked and stuff like that. So yeah, and I know that of course you ladies are so wonderful. You don't really care about that kind of stuff. So yeah, my name's Kareena K. Kareena K. First of all, pronounced K, like not Kareena Kai or Kareena Key. Or any of the wonderful versions I've heard. I never Clubhouse, I don't really mind, Jen. You know me, I don't really care about much. So I've never really offended who would pronounce it wrong. But some people on Clubhouse are a little bit scary about their name being pronounced wrong, aren't they, Jen? But that being said, I'm a medical student, and much like Belinda, I came onto Clubhouse at first, mainly to just talk about I'd say my journey, but it hadn't started, obviously. Talk about my experience, as a neurodivergent individual who was only literally in that moment gaining awareness. So literally, I didn't know anything at all. I found out everything, and then I had my breakout period, i.e. I was angry at the whole wide world, and everyone a lot of us can relate to that. Just kind of literally having all the flashbacks of all the past memories and realizing, oh my gosh, all those times when people I don't know, literally took the piss out of you, or I don't know, done things, and it's like, wow. When I think about it, they took advantage of me, all those stuff, yeah. So a lot of people have that moment where they relive all that. I was lucky-ish that my moment of reliving all that happened to be online. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing till this day. However, now I definitely would say I've been on a huge journey, Jen. From wonderful people like yourself and Bella, we're so happy to connect with you. And so thank you so much, guys, for having us on the show. But yeah, I'll stop now. So sorry.
Okay, thank you. Sometimes you're talking a little fast. I'm trying to keep up with you, sweetheart. Okay. All right. So I was reading the chapter about how the author was talking about going slowly to learn things a little step at a time. It's extremely frustrating. And I also had shared that I've seen a lot of children that don't even want to try something unless they know they're already accomplished at it. So we were talking about, there's something about that learning process that seems frustrating or difficult, and then retaining what has been learned. So that's just kind of a summary, but whatever kind of you guys want to talk about what strikes you about this topic. So Belinda, do you want to go ahead?
Sure. Personally, I think, and again, I am looking at a mirror, a 12-year-old who I'm telling, this 1 hour, you can break down the reading in half-hour chunks or, 15-minute chunks throughout the day. No, I got to do it. It's like when you are given a task, you want to do it and you want to do it right. And of course, you want to do it right the first time. But he is, for example, for him, he's relentless. He will not stop until something is done and in his mind is complete. I'm trying to put myself back to that time in my life. But I think now as an adult, if anything, because I also have ADHD, it's more of multitasking. So it's like, I know when I'm speaking with someone and I'm taking notes and then I'm trying to just help put it all together. If there's a plan and we're brainstorming, I feel like I just, the name, the date, the time, and that's just an example for an adult. For a child, I guess, for a puzzle, if you want to put a puzzle or Lego, he loves Legos. It's got to do it, and it's got to be done. No breaks, straight through. And then the same for me. There seems to be a, especially when I was exercising more, or at all. Actually, I haven't been lately. You see in my, but I am that was my thing, is exercising. When I was exercising before I had a car accident, 6 days a week, relentless, sometimes 2 hours a day, and just had to do the exercises. The way they were done. And very, very and it's funny because I think when they talk about chefs being you see a lot of male chefs or male fashion, or you used to male fashion designers, because they just can throw things together at the last minute. You know, this creativity, you know, which apparently women, I guess, didn't have because they weren't in that space. They were just wearing the outfits or eating the food. I went on a tangent there, but I feel like I'm more of like book-like. So if there's a recipe, my mother gives me a South American recipe. I'm South American. I have to, it's how much of it? A quarter cup of this, a third teaspoon of that. I'm very like rigid that way. So that's my, but you know, when the taste, like, how did it taste? You know, when everyone's trying it, I ask my husband, did you like it? You know, did I like it? Did our son like it? It's, you know, you set such a high bar and such a high expectation, and you put so much into preparing. At least this is for food. So I'm switching from Legos to food to projects. I know Kareena can speak differently. She's much younger. She'd be my daughter. I feel like in some way she is, because I'm much older. But that's how it is for me. And seeing my child, that rigidity, that no, I'm going to do this project. I have to finish it. I'm going to do this Lego. I'm going to finish it. He enjoys the Lego, so there's not that anxiety. But when it comes to school things, I do see the anxiety pop up a bit. So that's my experience. Thank you.
Yeah, if it's something that is not like something that you already know, like cooking falls under this umbrella of cooking, or Legos is play. But if it's something like it's a new skill that's not familiar, is that a different?
Yeah, well, I mean, like every Lego is different. For Christmas he got it was like, I think, how many pieces was it? 1,000 pieces? Your car? 1,000.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's not something that he knows is going to be enjoyable, like
well, that was enjoyable. That was a challenge for him though, because it was so many pieces. He didn't get to do it in one sitting, and he kind of put it off. His dad was like, did you not like it? Why aren't you doing your Lego? And it took him a while because it was very challenging. There's a lot of little pieces. So you can say something.
Okay, and then another problem is that, like, then you realize that you misplaced something on the Lego Technic and you got a wrong piece, and it's like, dang it, now I have to start all from this part where I messed up, and it takes forever.
If you
like,
put one wrong, yeah.
On the doors, it was really annoying.
Yeah.
It was really annoying to actually get them closed.
Normally, I'll buy him a Lego set that he knows that it'll be, here it is, and he's done. But this one,
yeah, it was Lego Technic. That's why.
It was a challenge.
Really get you.
Yeah. And then for me, like, I cook. I'm a stay-at-home parent, so I cook every night pretty much, except weekend or Friday the weekends. And if there's I love trying new recipes. And can you repeat the question? Do I feel it challenging?
Well, I was listening to your son talk, and he was saying that if he got, I couldn't hear everything he said, but if there's one wrong piece,
you have to start over almost. Because
you have to start all over. Okay.
Yeah, like if it's a car, so the bumper, if you don't put that one right piece there, you have to take the whole bumper off and, you know, try to put it together correctly, following the instructions. What?
The bumpers are just normal Lego pieces.
Yes.
It was the doors.
The doors. So the doors.
I kept actually misplacing because it didn't give you a specific instruction.
Yeah, the instructions weren't very specific. So the doors, he put one wrong part, he had to redo them.
Like some pieces look like other pieces.
Yeah, and some pieces look like other pieces, so it was confused. And the doors.
So was he like super focused on it to finish it, or did he give up, or did he?
He would, well, so when he sat down to do it, he would be super focused, like laser focus. And then, you know, okay, it's dinner time. We can't be all night doing this, you know?
Okay, the hyper focus kind of.
The hyper focus is definitely there. Usually does a Lego in one sitting. He's highly skilled with the Lego. So, but this was for what's the age limit? It was 12 plus, and he's 12, 10 plus.
Okay.
And then if I'm trying a new recipe, I'll say that
so you kind of hyper focus on that too. You're very focused.
Oh yeah. Like I have to get it very exact. Like when I, you know, if I had to buy, it was Father's Day past Sunday, and I wanted to get my husband a new wallet. this may be a little, I'm just going to say what I did, but I had to go through every single, so I found a wallet I liked, but they had a few. I literally had to open every single wallet and inspect the stitching to be perfect. It had to be perfect for me to be comfortable to buy him that wallet. So yeah, so that's just a random thing, but I mean, imagine applying that to, everyday life, grocery shopping,
So you have that perfectionism that we're talking about, that things need to be perfect.
It bothers me if I walk in and when I'm looking here at my frames, I'm in my dining room, if it's off, it has to, I don't feel right if something's not symmetrical to me.
I was going to say, Belinda, I was dying when you mentioned the thing about the purses. It's so relatable. Like, why are we like this? I said, Justice, why are we like this? Like, and literally very much, but I do see you as my sister, like, really the same person. And I actually felt quite affirmed, to be honest. I said to him, like, I said, they kept saying I would change when I got older, but I haven't. I'm still the same me. Go away. And I laughed. That's literally what I did while I was muted, truly. So literally, that's why I get so happy, like, literally, and get overexcited when I hear you guys, say these things. Like, oh my gosh, my life, like, I just feel like so real. People made me feel like I was fake about everything, about every single thing. Even not so much as that, like I was exaggerating or something, but we have to do it. We need to do it.
Even
and I wrote so many
things
things down while you were talking. So thank you so much, Belinda, for sharing that. But yeah, go ahead, guys.
Yeah, well, so what I was hearing is with autism, people can have ADHD to a point that it's a separate diagnosis, or obsessive compulsive disorder, so it's a separate diagnosis, or it's just a part of the autism. And so you're kind of addressing both of those. Like the hyper focus is kind of an ADHD trait, and the perfectionism is kind of an obsessive trait.
It's like, and then there's anxiety. So
exactly,
with the wallet, like, oh my God, this one the first one I saw none of them had the perfect stitching. So now I have to find another one. Will I find it?
Right,
so you really, and then I see the same in a 12-year-old, and my goal is for him to try to minimize that as much as possible. I'm much older, so it's I don't think it's healthy, for us to put ourselves through that. So we have to find ways to manage, to cope, and my goal would be to teach the younger generation, or help teach the younger generation, so that they don't have to suffer, because you suffer internally, mentally, and physically. We suffer.
And that creates anxiety, right? If something's not going to be perfect, and it's not like it's a rational thought, it's just a reactive, right?
Yeah. It's just like I said, if I go to your house, Jen, and something's, I think Jennifer Aniston,
everything's off at my house.
Well, Jennifer Aniston, she's from that show Friends, and she mentioned there's toilet paper, and I like also it to be up. Some people put it down. So when she goes to her friend's house, she said, and she'll flip it. I've done that at my parents' house. I didn't say anything, but I'll flip it. And that's like, like
a little OCD.
People might think that's crazy, OCD, a little off, but that's who I am, and that's what I do.
Are you guys just need to comment on that one, because I have a lot of thoughts.
Yes, please go ahead.
No,
Kareena,
but you don't have OCD, and I'm not gonna have this. No, because I just sorry guys. I just said once again, she's actually my twin sister. I was getting excited. We do not have OCD. Oh, that's it for you, okay, guys. Me and Belinda, I don't know about any other people, but however, truly, in my opinion, what mirrors, in my opinion, is actually the reality is we have autism, we have ADHD, and I think it's very, very common for those who are neurodiverse in general to actually have like quite rigid and repetitive behaviours, and very much so in women, especially. That's something that actually a lot is very focused in us. Does that make sense? And I think that's something that can kind of be hidden. Because we sit around.
So you're saying you're going really fast. It's in women, it's more common. Is that what you're saying, to have these?
Yeah. So yeah, I'll chill out. So I'm saying
I
in
see
women,
it in Mr.
it's more common. But in addition to that, I'm saying that in women, we have these traits, and they're basically subclinical. They don't cause us anxiety. So I was irritated. So while I was back in doing this so viciously, was because I was annoyed back when I was younger. At the friends I had, they were lovely friends. It was good to have friends for once and be unmasked around them. And I was doing my stuff, i.e. like just washing, all the things I do. And then they started to like make jokes that I was OCD. For me, the funny thing is I didn't mind that, and like for once I was happy to have people make jokes about me and actually like it and feel like, oh, this is what friends were like, okay, fine. But I was irritated because as an autistic person, because I like things to be right and proper. And the reality is, I was aware I didn't have OCD. Even back then, I had studied the fact that, I can't explain it. Well, at the time, what I had obsessed, so I take a bit of information, like keep it in and then run with it. So what I had learned at the time was simply just that people have OCD, it's like they can't escape their thoughts, and it's racing. You know, like, oh, if they want to, one of my things I had to do was maybe wash my hands, I have to do that. If they didn't get to do their thing, that was associated with other things. It wasn't just fine, or just stressful, or just, you know, all the other things that made me to. It was more like, oh my gosh, now I'm really convinced that my mum is going to die, because, do you know what I mean? They have, so they have, I actually know the words, it's so annoying, but I'll come back another day and just tell you then. But basically, with OCD, the proper diagnosis, you have an obsession along with a compulsion. Yes, that's what I wanted to say. And what I was saying was the element of that people like me and Belinda, we are obsessed, we're not compulsed. We can stop if we want to. Does that make sense? Not if you want to, but you know what I mean? So that's what I wanted to say. Thank you so much, guys. It was so hard to get there, but I got there in the end.
Yeah, so you're saying that you'd have these obsessive thoughts and these negative thoughts that didn't actually translate into any kind of behavior, but they would just...
I'm saying that these repetitive and rigid behaviors, in the absence of negative rumination thoughts and all that stuff going on in the mind, that is actually just normal autism and ADHD, and it's common for it to look like OCD. I hope that's, yeah. I definitely, in the comments, will definitely like literally write a simple sentence after this, and literally it'll be the whole thing of what I wanted to say, but yeah.
Okay, thank you. And if you're, Kareena, if you're needing to learn something new, what, and it's not something you're familiar with, so it's going to be a new skill or a new something, what is your first reaction? Like, are you worried, or do you enthusiastic, or what kind of happens?
So I definitely think that as a child, and even still now, it's definitely across the board I've noticed, neurodiverse individuals, because we automatically want to like organize everything and categorize everything, and yeah, really uncomfortable, unfamiliarity, like you're saying. So definitely for me, I think when I'm trying to learn something, especially in this phase that I'm at right now, I've had to accept the reality of like my competency varying and things like that. So the reality is, and it's kind of always been that way, so I mean, it's always really, so yeah. But having 3 steps max, i.e. like kind of breaking something down into like its most simplest steps, and like, yeah, breaking it apart, whatever information or thing I'm being given, and making it literally as super simple as possible, and then like, yeah, trying to work out, in the end, my final step in the process is actually working out how to teach somebody else. But to me, what I've noticed is actually, that's something I added on later on, that's like a mastering thing that I do. To then make the information, whatever it is, possible for the, you know what I mean, to other person, and to present it like other people. But for the most part, when I want to learn something, yeah, I really have to break it right down, and simplify it, and repeat it over and over and over again. That's so important, like literally. And actually, that's when it becomes enjoyable and things like that. And I don't actually enjoy things when I get to repeat them enough time. That's what I really wanted to say. Thank you so much, guys.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that we were talking about that earlier, about needing to repeat something so much to be able to learn it and retain it. Yeah. The Real Dad, I'm sorry we can't add you. They only allow 4 people, but if you would please send some comments. We'd love to hear what you would like to add and share with us. So Bella, how about you in this topic, or as a parent or as a teacher?
Yeah, I was talking in the beginning more about the challenges that I found as a teacher. But yeah, it still stands as for me as a challenge. This journey and how to keep it going. So yeah, I'm wondering how do you, Belinda, manage to I don't know, support your son through his journey of doing that Lego, or when he wants to give up, or when something is challenging. How do you support him? Maybe I can learn some strategies.
Yeah. Okay. So I let him play with his friends video, and because we have one laptop, one tablet, and most of his friends have their own, and we're considering it, but we're kind of because a lot of video games. We don't want to go that route. So I said to him, I have an interview, and I need silence, so it would be a perfect time for you to do your hour of reading. And awesome. Oh, it's okay. So he's doing his reading, and he's also snacking, and I'm kind of, but he's in the living room in his relaxed state. I'm not, you know, helicoptering. Traditionally, say if I was doing another tip, I'd check in, but not check in, kind of like more of try to give him autonomy, but also have that watchful eye so that focus doesn't, you know, kind of go anywhere else. Or, you know, kids will be kids, even neurotypical kids. If you say sit and read for an hour, they're probably going to find something else to do. Or I will sit with him and read myself, whether it's, you know, doing my thing, like maybe check my emails. I got the book, Jen, so I want to read it with my son. I read the reason I jumped together. So I got it from our library. It's a good book. You liked it? Okay, put in a plate. Not directly.
I'm gonna put it in yogurt.
Okay, excellent snack. Okay.
How do I use
A spoon. I'm so sorry. Yes, use a spoon.
That's okay.
Okay, so he's fixing yogurt and he's putting on wheat germ. So I think by mimicking, he sees his, my husband reads a lot more than I do. I will read more like quick, you know, those little magazines you get, but I think it's mimicking as well. And, you know, we do mimic. I mean, I mimic a lot. Echolalia, I mimic people when I'm with them. I may be mimicking you if I'm with you for a good amount of time. Encouragement, encouraging words, supportive. I also learned recently about growth mindset. His teacher at school that does the summer classes is talking about growth mindset. So instead of saying, wow, you did that, you're so smart, you say, wow, you did that. That you know, that's a great thing that you're doing there. And so you're not making them think that it sounds awful to say because all children are special, but they won't if they get an A and you say, you're so smart, my neurotypical husband, you got an A, you're so smart. No, you got an A, you worked hard and you earned that A. So next time if they get a B, they're not hard on themselves and feeling like they failed. When it's a B, for God's sakes, we ask A's and B's for his report card. So
I just internally scream.
yeah, he says if he gets he'll internally scream. That's what he says. Like that's his, you know, he'll internally scream if he doesn't do well. So I think that's the trick. But if you're sitting with them, you know, and they're sharing that space for them, even if it's 5 minutes. Bella, as mothers, we're so busy, there's so much to do. And as a working mom, there's so much to do. So I think, and even 5 minutes is something. So spending that time being close, but given the autonomy, especially as they get older, they want to, you know, be
Kareena, can you
more
mute yourself
independent.
for a second? Oh, okay. Sorry, we're getting a lot of feedback.
Oh, is that okay now? Or,
yeah.
Okay. I was saying that even if you spend 5 minutes with them, I think that counts for more than you know, you don't have to do the whole hour because as working parents, very busy. And it also gives them that autonomy. But, you know, I might put up my image and kind of check, you know, kind of just a little look-see. And I was saying that even for neurotypical kids, we'll do the same thing. I know if you tell me to read for an hour and you put me in a room, I might get distracted. So the
growth mindset versus saying you're so special is what? What's the difference?
Well, it was it's I'll send you the YouTube link, or I maybe put it on the chat. Instead of saying that you got an A on your test, you're smart. You will say you got an A on your test. You worked hard, so that if they get a B next time, they're not thinking, "Oh my God, I failed. I'm not smart because I got a B."
Right.
So it's more of on focusing. I'm not well versed in. I saw the video, you know, kind of quickly, but I passed it on. I will send it to you though, because it's something that she wants us to use this summer. And Bella, I will, you know, I'll send it to everybody here, of course, and I'll post it as well on my Instagram. But it's something that it helps individuals. He used, oh my God, the name of the young chess prodigy. It was the movie called Searching for Bobby Fischer, but the boy's name, it's another name. He mastered chess, he mastered jiu-jitsu, he mastered, I think he's doing taekwondo, MMA, mixed martial arts. But that, yes, my son did mix. Yeah, he did mixed martial arts when he was 4 first. Every summer they pick up. This summer it's indoor rock gym. But it's more of like, he didn't think of, it helps to be able to deal with failure, because we're all going to not do as good as we want 100% of the
Exactly.
time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
instead of being hard on yourself, which neurodivergents tend to be, I think we all are, as neurodivergents, it helps to say, okay, I got to be, let's see why did I get a B? Let me talk to teacher, not, I'm so dumb, I'm a failure. I'm, because that's what happens. That's truly what happens. And even as an adult, if my husband, and I go back to cooking, Bella, because I cook every day. If something is good, if something is, it was a little bit too salt, I like to add spices. I'm Spanish, Latina, Latin America. I like to add spices, and we add everything as we're cooking. He was born in America, born and raised here, and his mother uses not the same spices that I do. It's very different cooking. So he likes to add his spices after the meal is cooked. But in my mind, you're not, when you're cooking, that's when it's being absorbed. And I also tend to think there's that movie, oh God, it's a Spanish movie, but the woman, her emotions would go into her cooking. It's Pedro Almodovar. I'm thinking Eat, Pray, Love. It's not that, but like not like Water for Chocolate. I'll get it. But anyway,
okay.
When she was angry, the food didn't taste as good. But when she was happy or in love with, her boy, and I guess it's a tragic ending. I haven't seen it. He's seen it, but apparently her emotions would go into the food. So if I'm angry at my husband, I don't make dinner that night. Let's just put it that way. Kareena knows. Last night it was like frozen mussels, yes, and I threw a pasta and I put butter and mixed it. And I think he snuck some of it and ate some of it anyway because it was actually pretty tasty because it was already pre-seasoned. So that's what I have to offer. I'm sorry I always talk a lot as well, but thank you.
I know. I was going to comment on something that you said earlier, and now I kind of lost what I was going to say. So
I was just going to say, when Belinda touched on the growth versus fixed mindset thing,
that's
really,
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say the element of that. It is really, really important to teach young people, especially those of us in neurodiverse. It depends. I found my worth through education. I did. No, that wasn't very good. My mom would say that, it is a good thing because you made you do well. But no, much like Belinda said, it doesn't work like that because when you're not doing well, you're not doing well. And then they take it on as it means something about themselves. It shouldn't be that way. So I think it's really important to kind of normalize that from a really young age. Just what Belinda said, language is really, really, really important. Because I know for myself, I kind of like that's kind of my internal script really is kind of what keeps me going, kind of prevents that inertia. So a lot of the time, when I speak to myself and tell myself, oh my gosh, you did so badly, I failed on a test, like I would shame myself into doing well. However, like that can be very problematic basically. I was saying how important it was. It's really good that Belinda does that for us to be. That's all.
Yeah, thank you. And I think that's one of the points of this whole concept of learning something new is that perfectionism. And I actually would love to see a complete overhaul of the education system and get rid of grades and get rid of that, comparison. And I went to an alternative college for a couple of years, and it was amazing. They had no grades. You had written evaluations. You decided on, it was very small. So you decided on your courses with the professors and talked about what you wanted to learn versus them dictating this curriculum. It was just amazing. And I think education sets people up for that perfectionism. And
I really agree with that, Jen. But Jen, you know how you said it was small? Because I was going to say that, but before you said it was small, to me that was the answer. I was going to say, how did you maintain focus? Because that was the thing. I think like at times neurodivergents need a bit of pressure. It needs to be the right kind of pressure, or something, I don't know, personally. An easy example, literally, and that's the thing, I need examples to make things simple. I needed to be focused, but not really. I was chilling, enjoying my Saturday. But I knew I wanted to do some basic tasks in the house before Matt came home. And I knew the fact that if I just blink, I turn around, 4 hours will be gone, and now I've not done anything with that time. And I know that I'm really comfortable he's not home, so I can do like my cleaning, that kind of stuff. So I FaceTime Justice, but I didn't need not FaceTime, but on Teams call, without any camera, and said, okay, I'm going to leave you here, audio only. And that was enough. That was make me feel actually uncomfortable. I can't explain it. I said to him, that's good because it makes me feel uncomfortable, but not too uncomfortable. But I can't explain it, so I could be unmasked in the house, but also feel uncomfortable enough to be aware of the time, to be aware of these things. And I feel like it's the same with education. I'm learning a lot of the time. I don't know. But yeah, but then you said it was small. So I was like, because in my head, it being small, having that conversation, that's how it works. But yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, needing structure and motivation for sure. Yeah, you're right about that. I hear you. I was wondering, Bella, can you share some strategies that you do with the young kids to teach them to, you know, it's okay to make mistakes and to try? I imagine you incorporate your music and things like that. Do you have some like children's games or things that you do?
I don't usually do something, you know, like specifically directly teaching this, that it's okay to make mistakes, because I can see how they are getting distressed if I start talking about you know, making mistakes. So instead of doing this like directly teaching, I make mistakes all the time in my music sessions. I start singing The Wheels on the Bus on another melody, for example, or I start playing The Wheels on the Bus, but I do the actions for Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, for example, and then they look and then they say, that's not right. And I said, oh no, I made a mistake. What can I do? And sometimes I say, I'm going to stomp my feet. I'm going to kick something, you know, in my music studio. And they look and then I say, no, you know, or they look, or if I see, you know, they are non-verbal, or if I see that they are reacting but not saying or expressing anything, then I say, oh, maybe there's a better idea. Maybe there's something better I can do after I've done my mistake. And then I come up with different things and then I ask them, what shall we do? And then they decide for something. But I make mistakes all the time. I fall over, I say, let's march. And instead of marching, you know, I sing like a marching song, something like the ants are marching one by one or something like that. And instead of marching, I sit or I trip over or, you know, things like this. And I say, all the time I say I make a mistake. And I try to talk to the parents all the time to highlight at home when they make a mistake or when they drive and they see that, you know, a driver made a mistake or themselves made a mistake. Maybe they waited too long to, you know, to brake before a traffic light or something like that. I say, can you please mention all the time all the mistakes that you make? And to be honest, all the parents that I've worked with, they all the time say, oh yeah, it makes sense. I've never thought of that. And I usually don't say out loud when I make a mistake. And I say, yeah, I know. And that's how your child thinks that everybody around them is perfect and they have to be perfect too. So it's really a tricky concept. And in my experience, I never say, what do you do when you make a mistake? Because then they are like, oh, you know, they're kind of their brain freeze. Of course, for example, I have a little girl. I've been working with her for a year. And every week, with absolutely no gaps or anything, she's done massive progress with all of emotional regulation and other issues she used to struggle. And because we've worked for over a year, so regularly all the time, 45-minute session, quite long for a 7-year-old, I can ask her more direct questions, you know, like what made you worried today? Or, you know, what did you think, because we were talking about flexibility. So then I asked her directly, how did you show flexibility this week at home, for example, or at school? And then she's, you know, she's coming up with answers because we've worked on these things for a long time. But in the beginning, for like 8, 9, maybe like 10 months, I never asked these kind of direct questions. I constantly modeled, pretended to make it into a game so that I give them an opportunity to practice all of these skills and strategies that we're talking about.
What age are you talking about, Bella?
So in this case, so usually that would be, say, from like 4, 5, 6, 7, something like that. Yeah. But to be honest, even if a 10-year-old came to me and I'd be told that they are struggling with this and this and, you know, so many issues, I'd still do my first session.
I was going to say there's no age limit whatsoever, Jen. Please, the way that Bella described learning, I said, wow, this is me. Bye. I was going to say, the kids must love learning from you, and I love the whole like create play thing. Till this day, everything doesn't be like played into. Yeah, it's necessary. Yeah.
Well, I feel like with older kids, like I've had kids in therapy sessions that are older that we can talk about it directly, and
But
start
I
to
was gonna
talk
say, Jen, I
about.
can't explain it. I can do it, but I don't want to. I can't explain it. I'm just gonna let you know. Sometimes, even those of us who develop the skills, we're not really enjoying it. It's not naturally how we want to do it. It's a bit scary. I don't know. As I said, it can be quite intimidating. That's what I wanted to make. Yeah. So thank you so much, Bella. It makes it less intimidating. I found even to this day as a grown up, which can be quite
Do
embarrassing.
you find it
Yeah.
scary to talk about?
Direct
You find
questions.
it scary to talk about making mistakes?
Yeah, to making mistakes, but in general, direct questions. And that's a simple example of Bella saying direct questions. Yeah, making mistakes, but even kind of with a lot of things, because it leads me back to when we were doing a reason I jump through months with you, and I was thinking about the things about food and stuff. I worked out with my partner. It's scary. It's too direct. What have you eaten today? It's too I don't know. I don't know. So at times phrasing things a different way or making the learning experience more relaxed, thinking everything down. I mean, making it more playful. I guess literally, as Bella described wonderfully. It's still necessary for me as an adult, basically. What I wanted to say. Yeah, around a lot of things.
I think it depends a lot of also because my process when I have an inquiry that somebody would like to start a session with me, even if I have like 6 places availability, I'm not offering them come tomorrow. We usually have about an hour conversation, this week, and then I'm coming up with some planning ideas. I need to know everything I can possibly know without breaking like confidentiality rules about that child. And then I usually, after I plan something and after I have a better idea, or after I go and do some of my research, because sometimes, as we know, autism comes with some other diagnosis, or with some other, struggles. So I sometimes have to go and do my own research, or, ask somebody with a similar experience and so on. And then usually I go for another, session. And sometimes, all the times, I record a little video of myself saying hello to the child, putting, lots of pictures or toys and stuff that they like in this video, and then I send it to the parent and then ask the parent, can you please watch like a detective all the reactions that they display while watching the video of me, because I want them when they come to feel comfortable. So I think my way of approaching kind of each child depends a lot on what I know about them before that. And sometimes with some children, we make up different songs, or we take a traditional song and we change some words of it to make it more personal to that specific child. Recently I've been playing this song Try Everything by Shakira from Zootopia, from the movie, and it seemed to be so successful because absolutely each line from that song says that try everything, try what you want to try and do it, and I'm gonna keep falling and I'm gonna keep getting up. And then it says nobody learns without making mistakes, and usually like everybody's brain kind of freezes in that moment, because and I can see when we are singing it, they are singing up to that word, and then it's like nobody learns without getting it wrong, kind of they struggle to say it. Those children that are really perfectionists. So yeah, it depends a lot. Like you said, it might be, I had a 6-year-old in school at some point, and he was very mature for his age, and his language was like a 16-year-old language, something like that. So everything with him was like so rational, so direct, and my silly games didn't particularly work with him. But when he kind of could let everything go, he could be quite silly himself. So yeah, I think it depends. But yeah,
You're
that's
so
what I
right.
usually do.
Everybody's so different, and you need to get to know the person before you start.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't usually do big things on this, because I think it's also part, all of these obsessive compulsions and so on, they are more like for therapy things, and I'm not a therapist, I'm a teacher and a music teacher, and sometimes I'm reluctant, going really into depth with this. I see that what I'm using and my methods really provide them with that strategy and attitude. It's okay. And I say, when you make a mistake, think of Bella, and then I will go, so
yeah, if they have that image in their head, I'm sure they can get it over a little bit quicker.
Great. That's great. I'm going to use that now, Bella. When I make a mistake, I'm going to use that image of you going, ah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
All right, you guys, we're going to need to wrap up, but I'd love to hear final comments or things that have occurred to you that we didn't touch on as we
No, I
wrap
was
up.
just so glad for you guys to have me. I'm so sorry I was such a chaotic guest, but there was just one last point. I think I was inspired by something somebody said, but I think part of why it's helpful to break things down into steps for me personally, it kind of alleviates that whole mistake and thinky thing. I worked out at a young age, it wouldn't work out. I would get too. I mean, even though I wouldn't have meltdowns like most children, I was kind of what described kind of like that child that you just described better. I seemed very logical and very, very grown up. And I mentioned I've now gone the other way. Like now I'm an adult and I can't really be a grown up. My point was basically I worked out that it didn't work out. I would keep melting down. Things can't be perfect. So I think breaking things down into steps means that it's fine if I mess up. I can just start again. And that is what I do. My rigidity. Yeah, I'll be honest. I think I wanted to kind of, I guess, give an idea or support maybe to neurodiverse individuals themselves. If you do find that day to day they're finding themselves getting overly upset and not able to regulate because they can't do their stuff or they can't do it their way. If they break it down, at least they can always start again and kind of think, okay, it's fine. Well, step 1, step 2, okay, step 2 is okay, let's do it again, and just so that can be a way. So I know we have to do it over again, but at least if we just try our best basically to kind of keep it in a way that can actually help support our lives and not hold us back too much. Our rigidity. That's what I wanted to say. Thanks so much for having me, guys.
Yeah, thanks. I think too, if you break it down into steps, do you get a little sense of accomplishment each little step, like you've completed it? Does that happen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thanks so much for coming and persisting to get here. And Belinda, how about you?
Sorry, he's like, "Are you done with the interview?" I'm like, "No." Do I? And this is one thing I like what Bella said about, because they do need to see us make mistakes. I think it's important for children and to see that it's okay. And I kind of like make light of it, laughter out of it, and make it like amusing, not like the negative. Try. It's not easy. But God, I was going to touch another point. Just now, he's like, "Oh, are you done with your interview?" Because he wants to FaceTime with his friends, and he wants the laptop, and I'm on top of the laptop purposefully. And I said, when you're playing with your friends, unless it's like dinner time, I don't come in and interrupt. So it's like there's a lesson in that. Now, again, this is for a 12-year-old. So I'm always feel like it's me, like even when I buy them gifts, I always like things that are educational. It'll help and this was even before I knew of his diagnosis or my diagnosis, but I try to think of everything as a teachable moment, as we say. But I love Bella. I love that, Bella. They do need to see us fall. They do need to see us make some mistakes and know that it's okay. And to help to build that resilience and to know that, you can keep trying. And if you keep trying, you can get it, get it to where you want it to be. But that's kind of, I really enjoyed that falling over or whoops or making faces. That's exactly what I think that all parents, carers, takers, and providers should be doing, is teaching children that we all make mistakes, even adults that are in charge, and it's okay. So thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
I was gonna say, Jen, my friend Justice wanted to say something. Yeah, go ahead, Justice.
Hi there. Sorry to interrupt. I've only recently realized that I was even neurodivergent like last year, and I decided to start tutoring with that in mind, actually. So I put in my description that I'm kind of learning how I learn. So I try to teach kids at a slower pace because that's how I prefer to learn. And a lot of the kids I would get would not want to continue the lesson because they're like, "Oh, well, I don't know this and you're very smart." And I'm like, "Oh no, I'm an idiot. I don't know anything." And it makes them much more comfortable because they're like, "Oh man, my teacher is so silly." But they keep wanting to have lessons with me specifically because they feel no pressure to get it right. And then the more they come back, the more they're like, "Oh yeah, I did great in biology and I remembered that thing you said about this and that." So it's like it removes this kind of formality and it allows them to accept that they learn in a different way. So yeah, that's what I wanted to mention.
Wow.
Oh, I want Justice on Clubhouse, please. We need
Leave
more
him alone.
neurodivergent
Linda,
males.
no, I told you guys about this. No justice, no peace, no me. Not everybody knows me. Sorry, guys. Sorry. No,
Yeah.
bye.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's,
that's
one thing I was going to
fantastic.
add is putting yourself at the
Guys, I'm
child's
absolutely
level. 'Cause
joking. I'm absolutely joking. He's on Instagram, neurodivergent J, but he's not on all the other apps yet. But just Instagram only. I mean, yes. Sorry.
I got to look
But
up
I am
right
very
now.
protective of him, as you can see. But yeah, thank you so much, Belinda, and Jen, and Bella for having us. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. I know, I love that idea of presenting yourself as being flawed and being light about it. So
Yeah,
thank you so much.
yeah, I was going to say, you put yourself at, when I would work with teens, I acted differently, so that they could understand me. I wasn't that adult. When I worked with little kids, I acted more like their age. That's what worked for me. But I think it was helpful because there's not, just like Justice said, there's not that even as adults, if I walk into a conference or to, say go to graduate, like Kareena's at uni for medical school, you see a teacher, you're like, wow, they're like, you see them as like godlike, but they're humans too. And, we cut everybody and we all bleed red. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think it's just being able to try to put yourself, and for some of us, it's a lot easier. And I appreciate that Justin had said that. Pleasure, Justin, I've heard wonderful things about you. I look forward to speaking with you more.
Yes, absolutely.
Who hasn't heard wonderful things about him? Who hasn't at this point?
All right. And I want to say hi to the real Dalid. Thank you for listening. And you know what? Right
that's
in the
Dale.
comments.
That's Dale Dixon. Dale.
Oh, it's Dale. Oh,
yeah, it's Dale. Hi, Dale.
Okay, hi, Dale. I didn't realize. I didn't know who that was. Okay.
He's the real Dale D.
Oh, the Dale D. That's what it is. Okay. All right, Bella. And do you want to say any closing remarks?
Just thank you, everybody, for your ideas and for everything you shared. It's really lovely to resonate with your experiences and reassuring that, I'm on the right path and doing the right things. And thank you very much for coming live with us, Belinda and Kareena.
Bella, I want to say with you, Jen, I always feel like I always learn something here. Every time. I know it's been, maybe this is my third time as a charm, and I appreciate it. I'm humbled that you will bring me and ask me, because I love the energy. I'm all about the energy. But I learned so much from Bella and Jen, and then your guests, who today happens to be Kareena and Justice. Thank you. It's always something that I learn new, and and I'm like, when you see me, I was like sharing, because I'm like, more people need to know this is happening, and I'm just like sharing the room on chats and that I belong to and whatnot, because I just think it's important to get the word out there, and I look forward to reading this book with my son. Thank you so much for the title, Fall Down 7 Times, Get Up 8. Wow, I mean, it's amazing. So we every day we'll read a little, and this is what we do, is we'll read a chapter. And that's how we did The Reason I Jump. Yeah, we started to, I got the idea from you and Bella. So thank you to both of you for introducing me to that, because honestly, I've not been reading books as much as I used to. I've gotten away. Everything's so, so quick, and easy on the electronics. So it's nice to
I wanted to thank both of you and Bella for you guys coming on here and doing these like regular lives and stuff. You've educated like me and the girls so much. We're always excited every week to know who's going to be on next, and and the books that you've introduced us to, and also help us stick with. Belinda's so right. We say we want to read, it doesn't get around to it, and so it's been a great opportunity, both of you ladies, here on IG and also back up in the days on Clubhouse. So thank you so much, guys. You do a lot for the community. So I'm going to say thank you.
All right. Thank you guys so much. This was lovely. And
I have it on my calendar. I didn't know it was weekly, but I have it on my phone calendar. So I will be attending, down there. You're going to see me sending hearts.
All right. We have Carly and Christina next week are coming. So
excellent. Yes.
I'm back.
Yes.
All right. Goodbye,
Thank you
everybody.
So much. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.